patron is Twitch chat.
I would love that. You have to put out a straw poll every time you want to ask a favor of your patron.
Yeah, or like there are like viewer rewards where they can like get you to like re-roll something or something.
Twitch.
Anytime you cast a spell, you have to put it up to a vote. Like you just have a poll with all your spells, and whichever one
That's how you
wins.
quickly make the most useless D&D character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful.
Time just pauses for a couple seconds while we wait for the poll to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And we just talk shit or something. Yeah, there'd be a lot of filibustering. Just like, okay, gotta wait another 30 seconds for the poll to finish.
Hello,
Likes
everybody,
reasons.
and welcome
Sorry.
to Inspiration Points, where, I don't know, the points don't matter and everything's made up. I am your host this evening, the Left Nut. If you've seen my brother, please let me know. And our players.
Yes, hi, I am Kit. I play the character Anna, who is a cleric barbarian who shrimps for all of the MILFs and MBs in the entire campaign, and that's all you need to know, really.
It sounded like you said she shrimps
Yep.
for all of
Yeah,
them.
it's shrimps. We say shrimp because they will ban you if you say the SIMP word.
They only ban you if you
Mm.
use it
Squirrels
in
in my
a
pants.
negative or bullying sense to
Yes,
someone.
but consider this is more fun.
It's fair.
Yes.
And
Plus,
we do
we've
like
gotten
a
a
good
lot of
shrimping.
out of it.
I have 2 emotes based off of this. Don't ruin it for me.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I play Ruby, the monk druid who follows the stars, who's ready to give some scars to these bandits.
I love you so dearly.
Also ready to drop some fucking bars. I'm Felix. I play Kiva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Leah. I play Senna, who's a half-elf necromancer who's currently going through an identity crisis.
Yeah.
A necromancer who never uses skeletons to fight.
No.
That would be sacrilegious, clearly.
It's just stare at it and be like, wow, I made that.
Out of
Did
combat.
that. Yeah, no, in combat still. Like towards the end of combat, you were still like, wow, can I just take a look at it? And Will was like, I guess. But you're still getting bombarded by like zombie villagers. I just want to take a look at it. What is it capable of? Like, wow, this is so cool.
Getting hurt is a secondary concern.
Mm.
True, yeah.
Who cares about pain when you have a giant fucking bone monster?
Yeah. Checks out. So,
Anyway.
left nut.
Yes,
I
me.
love how only the N in nut and the T in the is capitalized.
Yeah.
The left is like very
Well, left is not a proper noun, nor the beginning of my name.
yeah. Sad.
The other words.
Adjectives don't get capitalization.
I
here.
know, but it feels weird. I feel uncomfortable.
So wait, are you saying that nut, your name is Nut and left is just a designation? Like,
Is that not clear from the name?
so you're right, your brother is also named Nut.
But his designation is right, yes.
Okay. What is
Were
the
you not
penis?
What is
What's their name?
It's actually
Is that
a,
the
it's actually a common mistake. His name's Philip. He's a really nice guy.
Okay.
His name
It's not
isn't
Dick?
Richard?
No, I don't know
his
where
name is
people get
Philip
that from.
Pete. It's for PP. He goes like
What? What?
his middle name is Pete. So he goes by PP.
That was the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard you say.
No, I love the way they said it. It's just, he goes by PP.
Le pipi.
PP. Oh wait.
Yeah, no, his name is actually Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, of course it is. No, it's Pepe Le Spew.
Ah! Oh my
And all of you
lord.
die. Reroll your character.
Here we go.
Okay.
Everyone except for Stenna is dead.
Because Stena shut up and looked at like, ooh, look at these
No,
skeletons.
Stenna was thinking worse. Stenna dies first.
Stenna raises the dead with bones. She's no better.
This is quality.
Let's fuck up some bandits, shall we?
Yeah. Let's
So-
fuck up some bandits.
Trust me when I say you guys aren't going to need a battle map for this one. You rush down.
You already destroyed them?
Ruby, if you remember, the guiding bolt you sent out, completely incapacitating one of the bandits. You rush forward.
Mhm.
Now within striking distance of 3 of the 7 left. With that, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Anna, don't forget to use Kiva as an improvised weapon.
Yeah. Wait, I don't think I haven't got. I'm at like barbarian level 2, so I don't think I actually have improvised weapon yet as like an extra bonus.
That's
I
a
would?
25.
It's only 3rd level barbarians who know how to pick up a stool and hit people with it.
I got an 8 because we're going back to shitty rolls
I
apparently.
rolled a 2, so that's worse.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, I have a +9 to initiative. So
Okay, so then, first up, one
You're
of
muted,
the
Kit.
one of the remaining bandits.
wait,
So,
one of them got higher than a 25?
yeah. These guys move really fast.
Sure. Sure they do.
It's also it's more the fact of you just moved, so they're more reacting to you rushing up and incapacitating one of their members. So, the bandit who there's one bandit in the very back, near the entrance to the village. Seeing you completely decimate one of the members, and then in the blink of an eye, be within a hair's breadth distance of 3 others, drops the crossbow he's carrying, stumbles backwards, and darts off screaming into one of the alleys. You hear a crashing sound, as if not like if he fell over and stuff, but like you hear one of the doors crashing open, as if he's running through one of the houses.
What? Where would he go?
Okay.
Ruby, it's now your turn.
Weird escape tactic.
Yeah, that is weird. Let's see what I can do.
I think we need to catch that guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna run after that guy. How far away did he get? He took a full dash.
If you
so-
run after him, you'll catch right the fuck up.
Well, yeah, but do I need to use a key point
No.
or not?
Actually,
Okay.
yes, you would need to use a key point. It would
Okay,
be like
cool.
he's like at this point, almost 120 feet away.
Cool. I use a key point. I use a key point. I run up to him. I'm gonna guiding bolt the pig he's running on.
All right.
Or
So
that he's riding.
Oh my god.
no, this guy is not on the pig anymore. He's running on
Oh,
foot.
I'm gonna guiding bolt him then.
Yeah. So before you do, you see you run up, you dash straight up to his face, and he turns around in complete surprise. He did not expect you to catch up. However, he is holding on to what appears to be a villager in front of him. Stay back. Stay. If you want to alive, you stay away from me. And we'll wait till the next initiative.
We have someone that can revive it. Right, revive the corpse if she dies. Sorry, that was really morbid. But I was just we were
Wait,
talking-
That's not how it works,
Right?
Either. I
can't
mean, like,
we were talking about how Triana could like revive.
Triana could
oh,
probably
okay,
bring him
Triana
back.
could, maybe,
Yeah.
but don't certain spells have to be cast like within a time period of the person dying?
Could I do I think that there is a way that I could use that I could disarm him before he could kill this person?
Yes, it would just be a slightly more difficult roll.
Cool. I'm gonna try and do that.
Okay. Sure. Make me an attack roll with put like a -5 onto your modifier.
Still a +2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm aware.
That's a dirty 20. I rolled an 18.
Okay. So you do manage to, you see, as he's yelling at you to back off, in his hand he has what appears to be like a small knife that he probably pulled out of his boot or something. It's in his hand right now, but he's trembling, so it's not super firm. But he is holding it close to the townsfolk's throat. At this point, unless you do this very quickly and very carefully, any sudden movement will more than likely kill the townsperson. You, taking this into account, strike out with your hand, actually very accurately landing a blow without being able to see it because of the way his hand's facing, in between the knuckles of his index and middle finger, completely breaking the bones there, causing him to lose grip of the knife, which you expertly and very dexterously manage to catch and pocket before quickly separating the townsfolk and the bandit.
I would also like to stunning strike him, so he needs to make a where is it? A DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. He does not make it. So,
Cool.
as you push them away, you deliver a quick jab right to his solar plexus, and he goes, and he cannot breathe, and while catching his breath, he is unable to move.
Cool.
With
It's
that,
always just like baffling and just like so awe-inspiring to see Ruby destroy every single target they ever come across. Just like absolutely like crush that person's soul. And like this
Ruby's been training their entire life to do two things, and this is one of them.
is just astounding.
with that, we are now going to go back to one of the bandits. This one, hearing the commotion going on in the houses beyond him with what Ruby is doing to his compatriot, decides not to bother, and his friend is probably dead. So he should probably look elsewhere. And he turns and faces the group, takes out his crossbow, and looses one at you, Anna.
What a dick. Okay, here we go.
He sees
At
you.
least he's going after the most heavily armored
Yeah,
one.
true.
Yeah, he
And it's
sees
way better
you-
than the alternatives.
He sees you preparing some kind of what he assumes to be mysterious weapon as you ready this small gnomish creature for combat.
She's putting the armor on Kiva like
It's like,
concerned
okay,
parent,
make sure
like,
that you're like,
come on, we
protected."
gotta put it on now. I know it doesn't
Kiva's
fit your
just
aesthetic,
got
sweetie, but
so
please.
so many knives. Kiva's like, at this point, they're more knife than gnome.
Suit of armor made
equal,
of knives.
Equal in weight. There's an equal amount of
Legitimately,
weight
if you
for
look at
gnome
the
and knife.
inventory on my character sheet, it's knife, dagger, 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 dagger.
Little known fact, rare gnome. It's actually most gnomish special forces focus in training the legs because they wear a giant suit of metal armor that's just daggers sticking out everywhere, and then on the battlefield they run around really, really fast and run into people.
It's like,
Plus
I can't-
everybody's leg tendons
It's
up.
just Stabby the Roomba.
But an army of it.
it's
Like a
Yeah, it's
whole
just
army.
a bunch of them.
It's so great. No, yeah, like Anna's gonna like picks up like Kiva and is like, "Wow, you gained weight! I'm so proud of you. Look at you growing, getting that
Meanwhile,
muscle mass. It's all knives.
What
It's
yeah,
all
what Anna
knives."
doesn't notice is that their hands are profusely bleeding right now from many cuts.
Anna just is blinded by like just pride. Just like, wow.
So yeah, if you take damage, it's not actually from the arrow. It's from the multiple sustained bleeding injuries on your hands from setting up Kiva.
Okay.
Anyway,
So I get attacked.
I rolled a nat 1, so like
Anna doesn't even notice.
no. Yeah, like you're preparing Kiva. You're getting Kiva in their armor, and an arrow goes literally straight into your hand, and you're just too busy putting Kiva in their armor, so you just pull out the arrow mid-motion and keep going. Don't even notice. Your motherly instincts are too strong right now.
He's like, oh, my child, gotta get my child ready for school.
What is this? All right, keep going.
Okay.
The bandits are slightly intimidated.
Get ready, I'm about to scream next turn.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. With that, it is bandit number 2's turn.
Mhm.
Bandit number 2 is going to attempt to calm down what appears to be the boars that are currently either bored or freaking out at the buildings on fire and the commotion going on right now in order to get them under control and start to run away. So, animal handling, please. God, I suck at rolling today. So, the pigs seem to somewhat calm down and begin to organize and listen to their riders once more. They're not bolting off quite yet, but they appear to be ready to make a move. With that, we are going to be going to Kiva's turn.
Can I hold my turn for Anna to throw me?
Yes.
Awesome, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, with that,
So excited.
we are going to go to Bandit 3 and 4. Bandit 3 and 4. So Bandit 3 is going to spend his turn going through his satchel and taking something out and handing it to Bandit 4. Bandit 4 is then going to make some strange motions with his hand. Can't really see what it is. It's somewhat far away. And then wind up like a pitcher and throw. There is something, for a brief moment, lagging in the air. And then you see Anna right next to you. A soft thump, thump. And Anna and Kiva and Stenna,
It's a
please roll
Pokemon!
me a dexterity check. Or a dexterity
Ah,
saving throw.
shit. So can I enrage as a reaction, or
No,
it has to be an
cannot.
action?
It
Okay.
is a minor action.
Cooliosis.
15.
I got a 6. I think Anna once again was too distracted by getting their child ready for school. Just so excited. Just like, wow, it's your first day. First
The
day for
fact
throwing
that Kiva's
star.
literally older than you, too.
Exactly. And it's just like, oh, small child, so exciting.
13.
Okay. So, Stenna and Kiva managed to avoid the worst of the blast and only take half damage. You guys, I will tell you the damage later. So the bomb explodes, and Anna, as you were expecting it to be fire, you don't really move since fire is not a huge concern to you.
My kid's more important.
Yeah, turns out though that the bomb was an alchemical concoction, and what comes out instead is a very chill gust of air followed by a rapidly expanding sound and shards of ice and cold digging into your body and cutting through any exposed flesh. Stenna and Kiva, you both take 5 points of cold damage, and that's it, as ice shards give you light cuts and scrapes across your face and exposed flesh, but it's not too bad. Anna, you take 10 points of cold damage and are slowed. You feel cold seep into your joints, and for the next turn, you can only move half speed.
Good thing I'm not moving. I'm throwing.
Awesome. And with that, Anna, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna rage because I just saw my child get hurt. And I was like, nobody gives Kiva a boo-boo! And I fucking get rooted.
Kiva hates hates this so much. Kiva rejects that. They're just like, just fucking throw me.
I'm so proud of that. Yeah.
Nobody
I'm
hurts
gonna...
Kiva proceeds to throw Kiva into combat.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up Kiva, and with my rage powers, I'm gonna chuck him. I'm gonna do the whole, like, you know, where you spin around in a circle. Or, like, it's kind of hard to have Kiva as a counterweight, but like,
Can I be like launching daggers while I'm in the air?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Do I have to roll
This
for
is
that?
crazy.
What do I have
Absolutely. There's a large chance that none of these daggers are going to hit anything.
to roll? What do I have to roll in order to throw Kiva?
Just make me a normal attack roll with your strength.
Okay. I'm so happy. Wait, I got a normal attack roll with what?
Add your strength modifier.
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay. Kiva.
I also got a dirty 20.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Kiva. Roll to hit. Add advantage.
Does an 18 plus 7 hit?
Yes, it does.
We just
Roll
have
for
a
damage.
knife
Add
roll.
an extra d6.
How many enemies can Kiva hit?
Kiva's currently hitting 2. Kiva's hitting the 2 people that just worked together to chuck a bomb.
Fucked. 9 damage?
Okay. So, Anna, you pick up Kiva and whirl them around and around and around and around. With a yell, you let them go, flying through the air. Kiva, you, with a yell, begin hurling daggers at whatever you can possibly see as everything quickly whips by you in a blur. So you don't really know what you're hitting, but you assume it's bandits. As you rapidly approach the 2 oncoming targets who are currently staring at this very fast-moving ball of hatred and knives coming at them with a look of stunned surprise as you collide with them, knives streaming out, flinging towards them as you get closer and closer. Their cries, screams, the sound of bodies rolling everywhere, dust is everywhere. And finally, when the dust settles, Kiva, you are standing, bruised. You have taken 7 points of impact damage. You think you might have dislocated your shoulder. But the bandits in front of you look like very twisted pincushions. As something broke and knives punctured, and those are dead. They're dead.
We just invented Sonic the Hedgehog.
A very, very worthy endeavor. Anna is like roaring. Anna's like roaring with victory, but then sees like Kiva's injured and goes, "Who injured my child?" Not understanding that it was her. She's just like so amped.
I am not your child.
There's layers to this group.
Might I remind you that I have a mother?
Anna
And
can't
am
hear
older
you.
than her.
Her roars.
You are older than Anna.
It's physically not possible.
All right. It is now the last 2 bandits' turn to go. By this point, they have gotten some control over their boars. One of them is going to charge you, Kiva, and the other one is going to begin charging at you, Anna, and Stenna. He's not going to make it to you. He's going to make it like right up to you, but he's not going to be able to attack. It's going to be a full dash action to get to you. Kiva, you are getting attacked. And that is going to be a 12 to hit. All right. So, hearing the stomping and squealing behind you, you jump and dive to the side, narrowly dodging the jagged-looking, spiked tusks of this boar as it charges past you. Now realizing that you never want to be a bullfighter. Ever. And with that, Stenna, it is your turn.
Make some bacon.
How do these boars communicate with their riders? Like, could I affect the boar at all?
You get the feeling you probably could affect the boar. It's not like really a bond between animal and rider. It's more like a broken horse or something.
I was thinking about maybe trying to get it to do something, but I think I'm just going to try and cast Burning Hands at it and the rider.
Yeah, okay.
Something other than Firebolt. I'm so proud of you.
It's a variation.
Spread out Firebolt.
A nice even roasting, if you will.
It's like,
Oh, also, Will, I did read again. I can't do the loud voice thing until level 11, so
okay.
the tattoo is not useless.
Okay.
So I think the rider needs to take a dex saving throw, and total it was 11.
Okay, so the rider manages to leap off just in time. However, you do manage to horrendously burn it. Like, if this man survives, he is going to be disfigured. But he's not surviving, so it's fine. So he manages to leap off, the flames engulfing one of his legs and part of his back as he screams but is still alive. The pig, unfortunately, was not so lucky, and there is a squeal, the sudden smell of bacon, and then nothing.
Kiva is so down to have a barbecue.
I feel so bad for the pigs.
And with that, Ruby, it is your turn.
Cool. This guy's stunned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's stunned.
He's like, you broke my hand. Wait a second, how did this
You
happen?
broke my fucking hand! What the fuck, man?
Like, in the middle, like, you broke my and then, like, of course, Ruby, like, with super speed is gonna just
Except
wreck him.
this guy right now, it's currently sounding like a...
I'm just gonna hit him in the forehead with my, like, basically just hit him really hard to knock him out.
Okay.
Because Ruby doesn't want to kill any of these guys.
That's fine. Yep. Okay.
Meanwhile, behind you, we've killed, like...
Yeah, no, Ruby doesn't want to kill anyone except that guiding bolt that they used at the very beginning.
no,
blast his arm off.
Yeah, Ruby,
He's not
Ruby,
dead.
We retconned it. The dude's alive.
Yeah, he didn't get
Just,
completely torn in half.
Shoulder down is completely torn up.
That's a 15.
Okay.
Does that hit?
Yes, that hits.
Does that hit?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Which one? There it is, a D. 13 damage.
Okay, there is a... So you whip your staff at this man's temple. There is a sharp cracking sound as you feel it make connection with his skull. And then just give a little tiny bit. as he crumples onto the ground, completely unconscious.
I still have another attack and a bunch of movement, baby.
Yep.
I'm gonna run out here and kick someone's ass.
All right, you run back out into the main street, and you see, you smell bacon, as you see all the bandits except for 2 of them are completely obliterated. Kiva's standing in the middle of the town square, more knife than gnome. Anna's screaming something in the distance about my child. You can't really make it out. You just hear, "Ah, child!" Ah!
Who gave you hear boo boo and like in random times like who gave my child a boo boo, just in different.
And
I'm gonna cast I'm gonna attack one of the ones that's still alive, and then cast Cure Wounds on the one that's then burned into a puddle, and
Okay.
try to make him a little bit better. Try to
Okay.
help
Who doesn't
make him
want
stay
to
alive.
This like this.
That is a 14 to hit,
That does hit.
or no, that's not. That's a 14 plus 7 to hit.
That definitely
but-
hits.
He's watched all of his friends and colleagues die in like horrible deaths, and now he's like physically like incapacitated to like
13
such a burdened
damage.
state.
There
Okay.
were only
Saving
like
him.
2 that died.
So yeah, like
And then one got its arm ripped off.
He's
completely.
still alive.
so like
It's-
the two bandits that are left are standing right next to each other, just kind of like. Because keep in mind, this combat round, this has been a total of like maybe 20 seconds has passed.
Yeah.
These last 2 bandits have no idea what the fuck just happened.
Just
A bunch of
destroyed.
crazy people just came around. One of them started screaming, and then everyone died.
Everyone died. It's the rest of the story.
They were just living their normal bandit life, looting a village, pillaging some people. They didn't hurt nobody, and then these people came along.
That
and
is
just-
explicitly not true.
Yeah, they didn't hurt nobody.
We specifically saw them hurting people.
They didn't hit nobody that mattered.
That
It's
guy
just
that died
business. It's
is
just
brought back
business.
up with 5 HP.
Okay, so some of his burns close, and now like his back burns are now just like 2nd-degree burns. Anyway,
Wonderful.
these two bandits are just standing there, staring into space, like what the fuck? And then one of them just goes flying backwards as Ruby's staff cracks across his head and just sends him careening into one of the walls. This last bandit is now currently coming to terms with the fact that today is the day he is more than likely going to die. And he made some poor choices in
He
his
did
childhood.
just see me heal his friend, so
Oh, true.
He's more focused on the knife midget.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a valid
He was just
worry.
Speaking of, it's knife
a
midget turn.
threatening porcupine. Are we not out of combat yet?
There is one guy left.
Who's just like, please don't hurt me. Can we roll intimidation to see if we just like,
I'm gonna
Oh.
go find Anna and be like, you know, if you're upset about people hurting me, maybe you can be a cleric and heal me a bit.
She can't cast spells while she's raging.
Well, she can unrage.
Anna,
There's
in your
one guy left.
Yeah.
Anna like sadly goes back to being after normal. Just like, okay. You just see the rage just like seep out of her.
I do have advantage on intimidation checks while I have my visage. Could I make an
That's fucking
intimidation check
terrifying.
for this guy to give up?
Yep, you succeed.
Cool. I succeed, yeah.
You succeed.
That I did get a nat 20, so
He drops his weapon and he like pees himself. I don't know. What more do you want?
eh,
piss baby.
essentially Ruby just doesn't want to kill people anymore is really the big thing, but
Mhm.
they also want to make sure these people aren't bandits anymore.
So,
I
yeah,
think
he's
we've
currently-
taken care of
he's
that.
He's currently
Yeah.
surrendering.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna take his weapons
Yup.
and like let the pig go free.
Yep. So the pig kind of just wanders off.
Oh.
It's very big.
I feel like it would be a little bit more urgent. It just saw its friend get turned into bacon.
True. It's a little bit
I mean, I'm sure
Interesting.
Ruby explained things mentally, and the pig just kind of left.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, listen, go away, or we'll cook you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Kiva for 15.
Okay, Kiva, you feel your shoulder reset itself as your bones become whole again.
Poggers.
I want to load up the dead pig on Tensor's floating disc and bring it to Triana as like a have some food for your inn.
Okay.
You did send Flilber to go get her.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I imagine we can still see Flilber though. It's only been a few seconds.
Yeah.
Flover's like, wait, do you want me to still? I can
Flober's like
stay?"
mid-flight, like 200 feet away or something. But yeah, the bandits are cleared. You are now just in a kind of messed up village.
I'm gonna go around, go mending, just like mend all of the different places.
Okay,
Better.
so
Get it
while
together.
mending and helping put out the fires and such, you take stock of most of the villagers survived. A few of them, mostly unfortunately, a lot of the younger men who tried to rush out and like defend the village with whatever they had, mostly like garden hose and shit, were killed, but most of the villagers survived.
Okay.
Can I loot the bodies?
Yeah.
Oh.
Of the young men. Yeah, sure. You find like 3 garden hose, some potato seeds, and 4 copper.
Wait, you're looting.
Okay, well,
those
how about the bandits' bodies?
Horrible.
You find like 3 old crossbows, 2 hunting daggers, and some strips of dried meat.
They'd
Let
be
me just
desperate.
add those daggers to my collection.
You just stick them on your armor.
All your clothes are Velcro now, and you just Velcro all the handles to you. It's like scale mail, but just daggers.
But anyway, yeah, you take stock. Most of the villagers survived. Luckily you got here in time where most of the houses aren't too horribly damaged. A few of them now need serious roof repair, but nothing like sizable burned down.
I am gonna make sure I tie up all the ones that aren't dead.
Yes, all 3 of them are tied up.
Cool.
Hey, we didn't kill everyone this time. We did do pretty good. Considering most of our encounters, they've all died.
It's not
Well,
whole.
no, we just bullied Gonzo.
Oh, true. We killed him in spirit.
And we killed many, many, many of his doubles.
Yeah. If we had the chance to kill Gonzo, we would have. If we didn't feel like he could have caused.
If
the
it wouldn't
ritual to
have
continue.
ended the world, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty poggers.
Yeah, if he had just opened the door, no illusions, Ruby would have gone in there and murdered him, and then the ritual would be fine.
Yeah.
And the world would have been ended. So
Would have been Gucci.
He didn't know that.
That sounds like a him problem,
It
not gonna
clearly
lie.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the village, one of the surviving village elders who was waiting around to thank you for helping out and protecting them, now currently a little taken aback with the both frankness and strangeness of the conversation he just overheard about a lack of survivors when combat encounters come around.
Oh.
Still goes, oh, if you want a meal, and to stay the night, it's the least we can do for saving us.
Wait, is this the village, the racist village that we like, Triana's village?
It's like, yeah, the outskirts.
Thank you, but I believe we already have accommodations taken care of.
And it's just like in the back, or like as he was doing this, like doing like
You-
I got my eyes on you.
You
Like,
sense
doesn't-
now a slight like breath of relief of like, oh god, thank you, these crazy people aren't going to be staying with us for the night. But he's like, oh, that's
It's too bad.
if you ever need a place, we owe you our lives. Safe travels.
And it's like, fuck yeah, you owe your lives to us.
I'm just
Through the
gonna
mind
put
link-
a hand on Anna's back and just start walking.
Yeah, no, it's just like
come on,
let's keep going.
We're going. We don't need to.
We're
need
gonna
to
see
dwell on this.
Triana, remember?
Oh, right, Tavern Mom. Oh my god. wait.
Have you completely forgotten about Calliope?
Anna can
so
trip
far
for more
she's
than
the
one
only one that's
person.
been into you. And
Yeah, that's why
Anna's
Anna
tripping
forgot.
for a lot. And it's like, ooh.
Anna only wants what they can't have.
Yeah, but no, she likes Calliope. She just hasn't seen Calliope in a while.
Also, why the fuck was Calliope even into Anna? It's so
Honestly?
confusing.
Because it's funny as fuck.
So, yeah, it is funny. Also, I
She
saw
has
this-
an incompetence kink.
No, Calliope's just thoroughly abused. And most
Oh,
of her
it's just
crew-
funnier story wise for
Yeah.
her to be into Anna.
And to also be fair, she's on the sea. She's on the sea for like months at a time, and most
So it's
of her
more
crew,
like, thank God, someone.
most of her crew in the Blast Voyage was dudes, so she was really bored and really lonely. Like desperately lonely.
She settled for Anna. In other news, I did find a really pretty pirate lady on TikTok, and Felix and I had been talking about how just like this is the headcanon of what Calliope looks like. She's just
Wonderful.
Nice.
gorgeous.
Why haven't you sent it to the Discord yet?
Oh yeah, I should.
Anyway, I assume you all are heading towards the location of familiar faces.
Yes.
And
I suppose.
as the day is ending, you come over the last hill and notice the familiar sights of the town that you first came to, the familiar sights of Triana's Inn. But now the unfamiliar sights of around Triana's Inn appears to have been start to be in development. What could be considered a small tent city. You see various monks of the order moving in and out of the tents, various people and villagers coming in and out. There appears to be conversation, a large bonfire burning, even some trade and meals happening. For all intents and purposes, with these new arrivals and with these new people almost integrating themselves into the town, it appears that Triana's tavern, which was once, a local hangout in a very popular space, has become almost the complete center of town and the focus of both trade and just daily life in the town.
She deserves the traffic. Deserves it so dearly. And it's just like, wow.
Ruby is
Oh,
very
that person's
happy to see
racist.
these
That person was
monks.
racist. Wow.
Basically, Ruby is just very happy to see that the monks are at least kind of happy.
Since they can't go back to the hell
They
temple.
can, but they
Oh yeah, the monastery. Well, it's mostly that. Well, first they have the opportunity to set up an outcrop here, and like Ruby's order usually is going to leap at that opportunity to expand and learn and integrate themselves with others. But also the temple is currently being repaired, refurbished, cleaned, and inspected to make sure no weird residual shit is laying in wait for monks returning.
Valid.
Ruby's immediately gonna go look for Alana.
Okay.
But
Anna is
we don't have to
skipping,
do
like
that first,
actually skipping towards the tavern.
Okay.
And she like, what's it's Triana behind the bar? Like, did
So,
she notice the
Anna,
thing at all?
So how do you enter the tavern, Anna?
She's like, honey, I'm home.
All right. So
Do not.
You
Do
burst into the
not.
tavern going,
Can't.
I am so happy you did this. You have no
You
idea.
can't.
I am so happy. You burst
Oh,
in
no.
going, "Honey, I'm home," and come face to face with a 8'5", green-skinned, large-tusked orc with a very large apron on, polishing a large beer mug behind the bar. He looks up and goes, "Well, I'm completely flattered, but I have no idea who you are, and no idea what you're doing here. If you're here to drink, welcome, but clearly you've already had a few."
Actually, we haven't, but
And it's like, who?
ignore
Right.
her.
Who?
We are.
Triana!
Yeah, no, we're
Maybe
here
this
to.
is what Triana actually looks like.
We're here to see Triana.
Oh, the head woman. Yeah, she doesn't have time to run this establishment anymore, so she asked me a favor. I came over and took over. If you're
Oh.
looking for her, you can find her, and he points off towards, points outside. He's like, the refurbished town hall, you can't miss it. It's the biggest building in the city.
Right. Thank you very much.
Have we stop by for a drink sometime?
You're not my honey. And then Anna runs.
Brianna's not your honey either.
But he's definitively not. Just absolutely, that wasn't on the table. Anna's going to take the 45-second magical girl transformation to have the wings out and then fly up and like try to find the building.
Okay. So, at the end of that 45 seconds, Anna, you fly up, so you don't hear this, but everyone was on the ground. Hears a couple of the villagers walk by and be like, "Oh, Anna's back."
Wait, so they aren't scared of me anymore? They're just like, oh, there's the crazy lunatic of the town.
I don't think any of them saw her wings yet. She never actually showed anyone her wings when we
So
seen her
they're
last
just
time.
like done with me. They're like, yeah, that makes
This is
sense.
fucking Anna.
They're just weird enough.
He was going to ask them where the town hall is.
And it's like,
fucking
on
go.
yonder way. Like point. But she's so high up that you can hardly hear her. So I was like,
There's no way you would have heard Kiva asking where the town hall
yeah,
is.
but
So,
that's why she went up there in the first place.
After a little bit of questioning, Kiva, you were directed to what appears to be a previously unused building in the main part of the town. It was once the schoolhouse that was used when there were kids in this town, but as there aren't really any kids of schooling age or enough to be of use, the schoolhouse has since not been used for a very, 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 very long time. By very, very, very long time, I mean like a year and a half, because this town really hasn't been here that long. It has since been refurbished and repaired. Walls have been knocked down so that there are, instead of many small rooms, like a couple small rooms, there are like 2 big rooms and an upstairs. You see that furniture is being moved out, new furniture is being moved in, people are making repairs to the walls, repainting different things, and you see what appears to be temporary sign hung over the schoolhouse sign that says Town Hall.
Anna tries again. She slams over the door, goes, "Honey, I'm home!"
And this time you do see Triana
Anna's so excited.
inside, in the middle of a meeting with
Oh.
at least 4 other people of various races in different formal attire in the middle of what appears to be a very serious conversation.
Can I fucking sneak in? I don't want to be seen with Anna.
Anna gasps
Sure.
slightly, goes, "Oh, you've been cheating on me." 'Cause she sees all
Senna's
the-
remains outside the building.
You see Triana stop like mid-word and it's just like,
Oh no! She's exasperated.
I'm just gonna like come up to the table and be like,
Just like tap.
just like next to Triana and be like, there's kind of an important thing to talk about when
Oh right, I forgot what the reason why we were
Again.
back.
no fucking shit. He was just screaming at you through the mind link, like you are so I am so done with you.
She
This
just-
is ridiculous.
Triana stops rescuing. She's like, "Thank you, Kiva. I will talk to you in just a moment." And she looks up at the 4 representatives here. If you will, please excuse me. We have some very distinguished guests. If you hadn't heard, these people have
I am
saved
very
our village
distinguished.
multiple times.
Very proper,
It
very
appears,
noble.
it appears that they have very urgent matters to see me, and she looks directly at you, Anna. It appears that they are very excited to tell me what they have found. If you'd
Kiva's doing their whole like rich kid noble thing,
When
just like
Triana's-
trying to make up for the absolute shit that Anna is doing.
Unless
when
Alana
Triana
is
says,
here, Ruby's not anywhere near you guys. It's-
when Triana says like it seems like they have like very urgent matters, and just goes like the little like just like a little bit, just a little bit, like just
Yeah.
like a little thing with
So,
her fingers.
Kiva, could you roll me a what would memory be? I don't know.
History?
Intelligence? No, because this isn't history. Intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence?
Mhm.
15.
Okay, so it was not this was not a hard check for you. Kiva, you immediately recognize the 4 figures standing in front of you, not necessarily by name, but you recognize them as 4 of the members of what is known as the Council of 12. The Council of 12 are the guiding representatives and the basically advisors to the king in the kingdom of light. These are the 12 people who answer to no one except the authority of the crown themselves. The reason for this is during the founding of this kingdom, during the similar to the Roman Empire, it was very much a kingdom of find an empire, find a kingdom, completely destroy them in a war, subsume their culture, their people, and their land. And in order to do that semi-peacefully, give their leaders, give their rulers a position of extreme power just under the king. So these 12 people on the council were all once descendants, or they themselves rulers, depending on how old they are, people don't know, of vast and powerful empires that were once beaten by the Kingdom of Light.
So maybe I shouldn't have just yelled to
These
my
people
mother.
were all once kings and queens in their own
Okay,
right,
so-
yes.
Kiva's going to
Probably-
bow
You
to
can't
each of
say,
them.
"Honey, I'm home," and then call her your mother. That's
She's my
not...
tavern mother.
Yeah, no,
She's
Kiva
the
just like
MILF.
bows to each of them. Just doing so much damage control.
There is a half elf, a dwarf, a half elf, a dwarf, a wood elf, and a dragonborn. All of them give a small head nod, and the dragonborn, with a slight hiss, goes, "Ah, a pleasure, young Silverthread."
Anna's very excited, but like understands that like Kiva is trying to like do damage control and like seems like these
In
people
their
are
head,
important.
Through the mind link, Kiva is like, these are some of the most important and powerful people in the entire world. Get the fuck out of here.
And in response, you just hear in Anna's head, dragon, 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 dragon. Do you think they would give me like a dragon that I could ride? Oh my god, a dragon, dragon, dragon.
No, they would not leave.
Goes up to the king. Can I ride you?
You're joking, but that is exactly what Kiva is afraid is going to happen.
Okay,
It's
and
really
get
weird to me that
Testena-
Anna keeps forgetting that dragons are people.
Yeah, no, Kiva's like to Stena, just like, please get her out.
I'm assuming Anna didn't go very far into the building, so
No,
through the
she's still-
door, these
She's
four
like
people
frozen
just see an
at the
arm.
door.
Yeah, so you just see an arm come through the door frame and just yank Anna backwards.
She goes,
It's like the cane in the Looney Tunes, where the cane comes out, yanks him off stage by the neck.
Instead, it's actually using like the bone staff. Like, no.
The bone staff suddenly has a crook like a shepherd's.
I'm just imagining Flilber's on the end of the bone staff like usual, and the tentacles just like wrap around Anna's face. One goes over her mouth and just pulls her back.
This is worse than when Kiva had to cover up for when they were all inside of like their ancestors' room burning a painting.
You're just in the back of mending.
I would like to point out that in this scene we have talked about MILFs, not just a MILF. Kids.
MILF.
Anna referred to Triana as her mother that she would like to fuck, and there is tentacles now. But
We anime boys.
gonna put some weird things in the tags once this is a VOD.
This episode titled "How Our Fucking Cleric Started a War."
How our cleric ended up with 15 high-level assassins out for her.
Hey guys, want to see a level 20?
Oh god.
All right.
Oh gosh. Today's been
So can I talk to Triana?
so much fun.
After a little bit, the Triana makes her excuses, and the guests all head off to wherever they are going. Apparently their quarters, but who knows. And Triana then meets you all in her room, which is her office now. It's about like half the size of like the main tavern floor. It has a nice but handmade wooden desk, simple chairs, a lovely like what appears to be handmade painting of nearby scenery in the woods. It seems everything here was made to have a nice appearance, but was all probably handmade by people in the town who are like, I wonder what nice things look like.
Okay, through the mind link, Kiva's gonna like say to Stena, like, do you want to explain this because it's kind of your thing, or do you not?
Stena will, Kiva, do you still have the folders with the information in them?
Yes.
Stena will ask for those and then just kind of hand Triana her file, open up to the baby photos and go, so this is me. And then the bullet, and then explains the broker and Pole and the fact that kind of a town is gone. And also the Void Dragon isn't going to happen. So
Throughout this, because Stena has to now is no longer holding on to Anna. Anna's kind of like pointing, like, look at the little frown, like look, oh, like look at like pointing at like little baby Stena, like, oh, like look at the face, like you just like you see this, and like holds it up next to like Stena's face, like look at this as you're explaining, like yeah, like so the entire town got destroyed.
Yeah, no, the
everybody's
entire town
dead.
is literally dead.
And Anna's just like, but look how cute.
Stena takes the file as you're holding it up to her face and just kind of backhands you with it and tucks it away.
I'm not there, but it also might be worth mentioning whatever connection with with demons that you have.
Oh yeah.
Stena will also mention that demons came into the conversation. She doesn't know what that's going on happened with that, but that's also there.
Oh, I'm also going to mention Penelope. Because we kind of freed an immortal ancestor of mine.
Just
and
casually.
we don't know what she's gonna be up to.
So when you
She seems
throughout all
chill
of this-
though.
Yeah, throughout all
She
of this,
did seem chill, but you know.
Throughout all of this, you see Triana reacting as expected. You know, shock when you tell her Pole is destroyed, slight horror, acknowledgement, understanding, excitement that the dragon's not going to happen. And as soon as you mention Penelope, you see her face just grow completely sour, just like.
She knows you're
I thought you might know something
Yeah.
about her.
She owes me money.
Well, she's been imprisoned for a long time. And now she's just kind of wandering about. She'll probably make her way here eventually.
Listen, she
How
hasn't
much
paid
money
me
does
back
she
yet.
owe you?
With interest?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
More than you
Yeah.
think.
Okay. So I'm home. Very weakly towards Gianna.
Oh, believe me,
Hi.
I know. Welcome home.
Thanks. I'm glad to be home.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, there's a competition of sorts. I'm assuming because you know Penelope, you probably are at least vaguely familiar with the whole caves of Alganath and
Yes.
yeah, the ancestral sword. And well, I'm in that weird competition thing now. But the reason that's kind of concerning, besides everything about me and what happens with me, is so one of my great uncles gave me a thing while we were in Pole and then immediately died. And I think the thing turned him old and killed him. And I think it is part of the contest thing, but it's concerning because it has also been like speaking directly to at least me and Anna.
It's been talking shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, your inheritance has quite a few trials. Most of them very deadly. I assume the other candidates are going through something very similar right now. Um, but what exactly was it that you were handed?
Um okay, I'm gonna like take out the thing and be like, he said not to look at it. You know,
So
it's like
please
wrapped. Please,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to.
Triana looks at the cloth for a second and then goes, "Well, then you best listen to him, because
That's what I figured. I
yeah.
just wanted to get outside confirmation.
Thankfully, since this is part of the trial, you hopefully won't have to hold on to it too much longer. Because that's you got handed a real piece of work there.
Can you tell me what it is?
Um, kind. So I don't fully know, but kind of, yes. Um, so the best I can give you is it's when everything was created, you know, everything way back at the very beginning, that point that no one ever knows or remember, that point even gods have forgotten. You know, there was energy and concepts came into being, time and death, and my best guess is I think that's something left over from there.
Holy shit.
I don't think it really is any kind of use or any kind of purpose. I don't even think it should exist, which is why no one can look at it.
Right. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna like put it away.
Stena raises her hand when there's a pause in conversation and just goes, "Do I have a heart?"
As far as I'm aware.
Okay, just wondering. That was a point of contention earlier.
Yeah, I hear a heartbeat.
It was only a point of contention with Anna.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, the file said something about demons and then her heart, and that was all we saw.
Oh, right.
Turning back to you, Felix. Good news, at least. Whoever is testing you either thinks that you are a very promising candidate and gave you a very hard test, or doesn't want you to have the sword and is trying to make you fail.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Really one of those two at this point.
yeah, and either one of those is very viable considering me. Also, I'm gonna show her Eric's file.
Okay. So she looks over Eric's file, and she looks over your file, Stena, and she sits here mulling it over and thinking about the dolls and everything, and nodding slowly and goes, it all makes sense. I'm amazed I've never seen this before. You're muted, Anna.
It's like it kind of went under a lot of people's radar, so
I can tell you, something this large to go this unnoticed. It's a lot of powerful people.
Yeah, that's
pretty spicy.
that's kind of why I didn't want to talk about all of this in front of the members of the council, because I mean, you know, the only way that something like this could happen would be if some very, very powerful people were involved.
Oh, almost definitely one of them is involved. If not the royal family themselves. I just have no idea where to begin or who to question.
Speaking of that, I mean, it seems like all of that is connected, because it seems like the broker is connected to the thing that was summoning the void dragon, and if the broker is attached to that, well, that thing also was connected to the royal family. So I wouldn't be surprised if the royal family is somehow connected to this.
Neither would I. She turns directly to you, Anna, and goes, do not go against the council or the family. You will get crushed.
Which family are we talking about?
The royal family.
What if they're racists though? I feel like I can win against any racist.
They are.
Great! So I could totally crush them.
You will get obliterated. Everyone you knew will get destroyed. Everyone who relatively shares a connection with you will get destroyed. I will be hunted. You are not strong enough.
Yeah, no, Anna, this is not a personal thing at this point. We are talking, this family has conquered nations.
Anna kicks the ground, like throws a raspberry. Very sad.
I have so many questions, and I'm not here, so I can't ask them.
Triana just fucking get here then.
Triana pats your shoulder and just goes, have patience. It's an important lesson to learn. Your time to strike will come. Look at this one. And she looks directly at you, Kiva. This one's learned some patience. They know that the time to strike always comes to those who wait.
As Triana's looking at Kiva, it's over Triana's shoulder, looking extremely skeptically at Kiva, just like
Kiva just like preens, like, yes, it's me.
Do you recommend we go anywhere in particular now that we're kind of regathering here?
I have some thoughts. Come back to me tomorrow afternoon and I'll let you know what I have. For now, enjoy the town, rest for a night, You've earned that at least.
Cool beans.
I mean, I know you probably won't be able to answer this, but why are there council members here?
Well, ever since everything started happening, all these monks came and started helping me educate and try and change things for the better in the village. And since of our proximity to that strange dungeon, more and more people have been coming over to move in and to expand our small little town. And in the midst of that, it seems like everyone turned to me to take care of whatever questions they have and to try and take care of them. I can only try and do my best for those who want me to protect them, and part of that entitles becoming officially recognized by the crown so we can receive aid and support in the form of soldiers, workers, money, food. So that's part of the process, is the approval of the council.
Will, quick question. Can I roll a retcon insight on the members of the council that I met there?
Sure. What did you want to look at?
Sort of just if any of them were, because I mean they all sort of seemed to know who I was, but if any of them in particular like
Okay.
recognize me or seem surprised or something.
The only one who...
You know, if any of them looked like they'd be the ones to want to summon the Void Dragon.
Yeah, the only one...
or the ones to like stop people from summoning the Void Dragon, you know.
Yeah, the only one who recognized you by name was the Dragonborn, who had to your best to looking at them, they had a very unique almost gem-like quality to their scales, which were a beautiful deep purple, which is very unique and not often seen in many Dragonborn. They spoke with a lower, almost like snake-like voice. And they seem to have a very calm and collected air about them.
Did I know who they were by name?
Your best guess, as for the council members, since there aren't many Dragonborn on the council, especially ones this unique, would be a Dragonborn by the name of Grand Salamance Teresi.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, I will put it in Discord chat.
Thank you. Ground settlements.
Isn't Salamance a Pokemon?
It is! Good job! You gain points. It's also the root word of salamander, which lizards and dragons are a lot of the time.
Oh.
Especially since it's more like snaky Dragonborn.
Hith hith.
Yeah, I wanna ask Triana something.
Sure.
So
Go.
could you just potentially check if Senna has demonic energy inside of her? So I was checking for that kind of thing, and it says that there's some kind of thing that has happened to her body, like it's been.
But it also might
way.
just be because she's a necromancer.
It could also be because she's a necromancer, but I might have a source that kind of confirmed that it's more demonic rather than just necromancy.
Okay. She approaches you, Stenna, and You see her hand lightly glowing, reddish gold color. And she reaches out 2 fingers to your forehead and looks at you. Is this okay with you?
Stunna shrugs and goes, "Sure, do
All right.
whatever you want. I don't care at this point."
All right. And she puts 2 fingers on your forehead, and for a second you feel a warmth spread out through you, Stenna. And it's a very comforting warmth. It's it's like a blanket or a fireplace on a cold night. It's like a hug. But and all throughout your body that warmth spreads, except for at the center of your chest, slightly to the side where your heart is. You feel this pinprick of cold, this ice cold pinprick that grows colder and colder until it's almost burning. It's so cold. And the longer that warmth is there in your body, the more that cold spreads out from your heart to your chest and your stomach until your entire midsection is in extreme pain. And as Triana pulls away with a look of slight concern as she sees your pain, turns to Anna and goes, it is very strange. I don't sense anything wrong with Stenna, but I do sense a very large reserve of very corrupted magical energy, seemingly natural to Stenna herself, within her.
Could it be that it's more natural to her because maybe she grew with it?
I mean, it seems that it was something she was born with. I can't tell if it's corrupted because of years of a lack of use and stagnation, or because it's been poisoned or tainted, or that's just what her natural power looks like.
I
Okay.
should point out the skull in the pictures.
Stenna,
Right.
after that experience, is just listening to Triana and Anna talk, and is just kind of bent over, gasping, going, "Thanks for checking. We're fine. We're fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're fine. Yes, not dying. It's fine."
He was just patting Stenna's shoulder since she's leaned over. Kiva can
Yeah,
reach.
it's like I actually read this time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll point out that in the file, the skull. Like there's also like this weird skull that seems to be following Stenna around, and I'm not sure. It's just like she had a fascination with skulls from the beginning, but she doesn't seem to recognize
Triana
it.
looks at each of the pictures and goes, "Oh, how curious. Did you notice this?" And she points at the pictures and goes, she points to each of the skulls, and you notice in each one of them that the markings and the hairline fractures around the skull are all different. And you'd have to inspect closely to see that, but it's 4 different skulls or skeletal figures, a different one in each picture.
That makes it a little bit more creepy.
Stenna will mention the figures that she saw during the night watches that were just kind of there.
And how many of them were there?
I believe 4 of them.
Are there 4 different skulls?
That's what it looks like.
Do you just have like ghost familiars that are like all trying to get their skulls back from you or something? Did you steal the wrong person's skull? Are you now cursed?
I haven't, to this date, stolen a human skull. As far as I'm aware.
You're just gonna just kind of. Well, Triana, I cast detect evil and good, and it said that she was magically desecrated in some.
I told you about the corrupted mana inside of her, the corrupted magical power in her.
Yeah, it's.
I guess that's what it would be.
Kiva's gonna go into range.
I think
for
it's
some
not that she
runes.
is desecrated. It is that
Mhm.
the corrupted magic is desecrating the land that she walks on.
Possible that maybe, I don't know, is it possible to like absorb the death of other people into your own magic or something?
I'm gonna be honest. You are now straying into territories of magic that I very purposefully do not know about.
But it's possible.
I wouldn't know. I don't deal in necromancy.
Oh yeah,
Just
another
soul
fun
puppetry.
thing.
Just soul saving.
Very different.
Another fun thing.
Mhm.
The three of us had some blood stolen from us.
All right. Funny how you just forget these things.
Yeah, I mean Ruby wasn't there that night, so they did not get their blood stolen. But all of us did.
And you, was this from the forces that currently hold Pole?
Yep.
We think
That's
so.
what we assume.
Also-
you sense upon saying this, you sense a flash of extreme irritation from Triana as she mutters something, and there is a similar to like when you fly up in a plane, there is a pressure in your ears before a popping, like an altitude level popping. And you smell a very like an ozone type of scent
Ooh,
before she finishes and goes,
Mother is angry.
"And you couldn't have led with that information? Who knows who just listened into everything we talked about? Well, we should be safe now."
Oopsie. Well, in other news, this is Hercules, and Anna does little like jazz hands next to like Hercules, who just has been like just waddling behind me.
You see this beetle now munching on one of the bar napkins is just like sitting there in the corner.
He's like, isn't he adorable? So cute.
You got a bug.
He's a companion for life.
You got a bug.
I got a bird.
Is the bird going to eat the bug?
No. I think the bug's a
The
bit.
jury's still out on that one.
Okay, so like, yeah, Helios.
It's
If
more
I
likely
died,
to
he'd
eat
probably
Kiva.
eat me. But like, yeah, no, like,
To be fair, you are about the same size as the beetle, so
yeah, you
You could
know.
probably ride her.
But I think Hercules' armor is a little too tough. I don't think Helios is gonna bother.
Herc is too spicy for that. Too
See. Well,
Too awesome.
the least I can do for you is give you rooms to stay in. Just let the man who is currently running my bar know that I told you you could stay there, and I'm sure he'll set you up nice rooms.
I
Thanks.
want to stay other places. I can sleep in the wilderness. It's
Anna?
fine.
Did you burst into my bar and do the same thing you did to the representatives of the kingdom at my bar?
You think I would do such a
Yes,
thing?
you
No, I
did.
just.
Well, I'm sure he's very flattered.
I believe
Exactly
he
what he
said as
said.
much. All right.
He's a very polite orc, that one. You know,
Nice,
he's a very proud mercenary, but lost to me in a game of cards and owes me a favor, so I asked him to run the bar for a couple decades.
That's a pretty big
Nice.
favor. What
Yeah.
kind
Lost
of
to me in a
deck
game
did
of
you lose?
cards.
Oh, it's a pretty
How
intense
old-
game of cards.
How old is he? And how long is it? What is his life expectancy?
This is actually the end of his life.
I don't actually know, but decades aren't that long.
They are for most people.
And
I
he's
should
just
talk to him
like-
about this.
Yeah.
And he's just like looking at her hand, just like decades. How many?
a decade is 10 years, Anna.
She's like, I'm only
You
like,
see
like,
Triana
two
like
decades."
make a small note in a piece of paper, just like talk to orc about deal.
Just like for reference, Anna's less than 3 decades old.
Research orcish life expectancy.
Yeah.
I thought we just had another incredibly old, powerful person
Yeah.
in this town.
No,
Is-
time just kind of lost its meaning after a while.
All right, I want to go find Ruby.
Ruby, over to you. You are currently wandering through the very well set up tent city, which, as you wander through, you notice is while mostly monks, it seems like a lot of either newcomers to the city or longtime townsfolk have actually moved out and settled within this tent city and are helping to construct more permanent homes around the space.
what about the mercenaries, Ramus's people?
They're also it's the majority of
Okay.
the people here are the mercenaries and the monks. Looking around, you see it's actually quite lively here, and you get a nice sense of familiarity, Ruby. While it's not the temple, you see different classes being conducted, meditations are going on. You see villagers and newcomers being led through different self-meditations, guided into the dream realm, taught about their dreams. It's a very peaceful place. You see people actually like laughing and sharing food and eating, and it has a feel and a sense of community that you've missed and haven't felt for quite a little while. After wandering through it, eating some food, feeling the warmth of a fire, you see a large throng of people, monks, mostly entirely monks and mercenaries, all surrounding what appears to be a very large central tent bearing the mark of your order. And inside, you can hear the very distinct and recognizable laughter of Alana.
I'm gonna attempt to walk inside the tent.
Yeah. Pushing through the throng of people who are all eagerly trying to move others out of the way to also look in the tent. You make your way to the front. Two monks stand guard at the entrance to the tent, but upon recognizing you, they smile, wave, and step to the side, knowing that Alana would probably break their elbows if they kept you outside. And inside, you see a very simple table set up with various lovely-looking breads and fruits, cheeses, and while not very heavily eaten from, it's probably the mercenaries picking from it, you see a selection of meats and such as well. The only two people in the room, however, are Alana, who is sitting and eating and having a drink with a very, very tired, very, very bruised, and very, very haggard-looking Remus.
As soon as Ruby sees Alana, they start crying. They are happy and sad and all every emotion you can feel is happening right now. I think they just stand there like with tears streaming down their face, and they say, "Hi, I couldn't save the kids. I'm glad to see that Ramus is here. I thought that you were dead."
Mid-sentence, Alana steps up and sweeps you into a huge hug and just embraces you tightly and goes, "Welcome home. It's okay now. You can rest." Come.
How did Ramus get here?
Remus gives you a very tired wave and just... Trees.
Trees?
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
what?
Like a spell or
trees, all trees are connected. You can go one tree, you can go to another tree. Takes a lot out of me, but I'm not a puppet.
That's
Is-
good.
Was there blood taken from Remus though? We never got to check.
Who knows at this point?
Check.
It it's been like a week, hasn't it? The travel takes a long time.
Yeah. It's
Just
been
like,
a
did you
week.
get stabbed in the elbow?
Yeah, did you notice a scab on your elbow?
I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of running and fighting, and
Yeah.
if I got scraped, I would not have noticed.
Don't worry about it. You should probably go talk to Triana though. I think she could probably get if your
Yeah.
blood's gone, she can end whatever
If
spell
your
is
blood's
happening.
just gone in
Alright.
general, just
Ruby
gone.
is just sobbing and can't really make any.
I'll go. I gotta. Someone's calling my name, and he just leaves the tent. They just leave the tent very awkwardly, like, "Oh, what? Yes, coming, mother."
Triana?
No. Not Calliope either.
Aw, bring me my moms. Bring all the MILFs.
Anyway,
Shut the fuck up.
Ruby,
Collect them all.
you
Gotta
are
collect them all.
you are brought to the chair that Remus was sitting in and sat down, and you've given food and the same drink that it's a very sweet, a slightly sweet, very very light iced tea poured out for you, and you are now just sitting alone in a tent with Alana, and she goes, "So, I want to hear it from you now. Tell me what happened."
So, we were gonna go. We had a plan to. I was gonna go and try and teach the kids a little, like about the monk stuff, and keep them distracted, and um, keep the matron distracted while Kiva goes and searches through some paperwork to see if we can find any proof to take them down. And then in the middle of that, we got Anna and Stenna were nearby at a shop, and the whole town turned into puppets, and I turned into a horse and ran over there and picked them up, and we left. There was nothing we could do.
It sounds like you did the absolute best you possibly could, and you made all the right possible choices. But we're not gods, and even if we were gods, not even gods can save everyone. There are many stories that you've learned, and I'm sure many dreams that you've seen where even the most powerful beings can fail. And we're just mortals. You lived, you fought, and you did your best. And now you can come back and fight again another day. And that's what's important.
I didn't realize how much I missed all of this, and I gesture around to the camp. It's really nice.
Yeah. I think if I went back and told my younger self that a life of adventure would just make me want a nice warm bed, I would have laughed and told myself that I'm crazy, but there's nothing quite like home. Nothing quite like safety.
We stopped some bandits on the way into town on the outskirts.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Yeah. Didn't kill any of them,
Good job.
which is
You
Interesting.
personally
You
didn't
did it.
kill any of them.
yeah, I saved one of them. I just wasn't sure if I was going to need my spell slots, so I didn't. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm proud of you, Ruby. You've done good work. You've fought hard, and it's really not easy to continue pushing forward after facing all the things you have.
I'm having to get used to feeling powerless. And I don't like that, but I think that in the end it will be for the best.
I think once you find exactly what you can do in a given situation, you can find a way to get that power back. Because, I mean, look, you have friends now, and if I may be so bold as to say it, very, very good friends who you can trust. You don't have to take care of it all by yourself anymore. It's not just me and you anymore.
I get the feeling one of them is being really fucking embarrassing right now. But
That's not a hard thing to realize.
I mean,
a
It's
huge-
okay. The child is doing damage control.
to be fair, I bet it makes you laugh when Anna embarrasses herself, or even embarrasses you. You need that levity.
That Alana immediately knew that it was me. I don't know how to feel about
of course it was. It wasn't the necromancer or the rich kid.
that. You sure? Okay.
I mean, you did always say you wanted a younger sibling.
How old is Ruby?
Doesn't
Ruby's
matter.
like-
Anna's younger.
Yeah. I don't know. Ruby's in their 20s.
Anna is the baby sibling.
Anna definitively thinks that Kiva's the baby sibling.
And that's why they're the baby sibling. Because the baby sibling is always the one who thinks they're the most mature.
That checks out.
Can you tell me anything more about what's beyond those mountains?
To be totally honest, I don't fully know myself. I need you to be ready for this. And she takes a deep breath as she goes, I have only tried once to go past those mountains, and only after spending a long time getting the proper clearances and the proper permissions. I spent half a day out there before I had to be brought back, and I only got one thing from it. And then she says that, you see she reaches up and makes a few motions, and then detaches her prosthetic arm.
Did I know that?
It's something completely new. It appears to be very well crafted and magically made, so she has full functionality and full use of it, but it's a prosthetic.
What? Wait, how? When did that happen?
I just recently came back from a journey, remember? I went past the mountains to see if I could match up. She almost playfully waves her arm in her still attached hand and just goes, clearly I wasn't prepared.
On a scale of 1 to 20, how powerful would you say she is?
Just an arbitrary scale of 1 to
Just
20.
Random numbers, really.
Yeah. Well, it's very convincing.
That is a land that has been untouched by most mortals for who knows how long, and it's grown without interference as such. I am not a great hero like you are destined to be, or like your mother is. And she reattaches her arm. So, I need a little bit more training if I'm going to be strong enough to go past there.
So will I. Um,
You see her like adjust the arm until it's sitting comfortably again. She goes, "However, I always say to look at a silver lining, and look at this." And she just starts showing you like her arm is like her fake arm just has like these different things it can do and like different modes, and she's talking about like because she's friends with everyone.
yeah.
So she talks about like her craftsman friend and how he helped after she was completely like she was there a couple hours in, something attacked her, she doesn't remember. When she came to, she was back on the other side of the mountains and her arm was gone.
Ooh.
She was holding in her still intact arm, she was holding a single tuft of what appears to be silver fur. And when it's silver fur, it is literally fur made out of pure silver.
Whoa.
So she's talking about her tinker friend and how from this silver fur, which is a substance that is unlike any other, as it has some of the most extreme flexibility and range of motion out of any metal anyone's ever seen, as it's basically fur. So it had a brilliant range of motion, and because of that, could serve as ligaments and nerve endings for the arm that she now has. And because of that flexibility and that durability and that adaptability, they were able to adapt and improve the arm with some really interesting and unique magical upgrades to improve her training and further improve Alana's already crafty and unique combat nature.
Have you learned anything about this weird metal? Because the only lead I've asked fucking everyone, and the only lead I've gotten is that the dream guy wanted it.
Actually, she points the metal. I have. And she reaches into her pocket and takes out a single glass vial. In it, you see a single strand of long silvery fur. This is the only strand left of the tuft of hair that was my souvenir from my adventures on the other side of the mountain. And if my hunch is correct, this is the same make as that metal.
Well, I've got a lot of it.
I think my theory currently is the metal itself is made from natural minerals we can find here. That's why we can identify its makeup: silver, iron. But its properties, its flexibility, I almost want to say whatever's processing this ore is alive.
Where did you get this? This big chunk?
I found it while wandering the mountain range.
Interesting. Do you have any insight as to why the dream monster would want it?
That I don't know. I can only make guesses. If it's alive, then if my guess is correct and it's alive, then maybe there's some way to communicate it, control it, or maybe it's part of a bigger whole. Otherwise...
Oh, you mean that the metal itself is alive?
Or whatever it is that's putting the metal through the chemical change to allow it to be so malleable.
Okay.
Maybe it's that, or maybe it can be used in some way as a weapon. Honestly, those are the only two guesses that I have for why that creature would want it. But
I mean, it's a pretty good weapon, but not really on its own, or at least so far.
As of right now, I have no idea. But I'll be sure to let you know if I find anything.
Ruby's just gonna enjoy the time.
Yeah.
With Alana.
You and Alana are just gonna spend the time catching up, reminiscing. Alana's gonna show you like She had her gnome friend install a automatic juggling hand on her arm, so like her thumb and her small finger can stretch out, and she can juggle 3 balls with one hand. It's pretty cool. It's
I
one
feel
of the
like a corn thrower added like
Yeah.
a special extension for throwing corn
Like,
specifically.
there's like
That
specific
will be very good for teaching the children.
there's like specific party extensions where it's just like fun at parties. Show your friends this cool trick. And those seem to be Alana's favorites, of course. After some time, you all meet back up, I assume. Unless, Ruby, you might be spending the night with Alana. Your choice.
I think I would go and check in with everyone because I want to know
Alright.
what Triana had to say.
So after some time, let's say you all meet up
as
outside
soon
the
as
inn.
you hear a shattering shout throughout the entire village of Remus is alive. This that need to happen because
Wait, hold
don't have that reaction. the entire time.
Ruby touches their tattoo on their neck and goes, "Yeah, I guess," and yells it so loud.
Remus feels a shiver down their spine. as-
Remus hides.
Remus deserves to retire.
Remus needs a fucking break.
Remus deserves to have us leave him alone.
Remus is actually like in their teens. They just look so old because they've gone through so much shit. They've been on the run from like a shadow government. They've been kidnapped and then like old personified, and then they brought back, and then they got left in like a puppet town by themselves, just continuously forgotten by this party. And just every
At that point, we thought everyone was a puppet, so there was no point in going back to save him.
yeah, but we
For them.
forgot until we were already leaving. And we were like, oh wait, should we check on Remus? They're probably a puppet. I just feel so bad for them. It's been just continuously harassed.
He was just gonna get some rooms for us.
The orc.
Anna's gonna try to stealth into the inn.
The orc looks at you and goes, "Oh, all right. I can get you 3 rooms for the night is what we have open. No charge. Madam landlord told me to treat you guys like family." Ah, hello, dear.
I don't get a roll of stealth.
Would it do anything though?
Anna freezes as if she freezes, he won't be able to see her.
The orc just kind of chuckles to himself and keeps wiping the cup.
He starts army crawling the stairs.
Your wings pop out by accident.
Yeah, he just watches as you slowly crawl across the room
She's like, I'm doing so great at this.
and up
I'm
the
so
stairs.
stealth."
He's just slowly following you with his head. Just
So she's
Anna's
not looking up.
unwavering and completely unjustified confidence in herself is very good.
Thank you.
he turns
yeah.
back to you, Kiva. So what's her story?
And it's like in her head, oh, it's definitely talking about Stena. It has nothing to do with me. Contains to crawl
Just-
up the stairs.
just, very sheltered, very confident,
Mm-hmm.
used to dealing with, she's a tiefling, so used to dealing with unpleasant people.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been through a lot the
Has,
past month or so.
Strange things for orcs, apparently.
Oh no, she meant to we didn't know that Triana was sort of running the town now, so that's
That
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, no.
Anna
I
only
can see.
heard has a strange
Not
thing
that
for
would have been
orcs.
any more reasonable.
No,
That
it's
it is completely wild.
yeah, no, it's ridiculous either way, but at least we know Triana,
Well, I mean,
so it's kind of
Triana's pretty impressive, and When she first burst in, I just assumed that she was the same age as Triana's son, so it just seemed like something a child would do.
Yeah,
Isn't he like 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's a kid.
Anna was already like at the very top of the stairs, just as as the guy said, like, you must have like a weird thing for orcs, and so Anna like notes that. It's like, Stana has a weird thing for orcs. Okay. Good to know. You gotta keep that in mind.
You say that through the mind link.
No, she just like keeps it in the back pocket, just like. Well, she probably does, honestly, because she doesn't have much control over it even now. But like Anna keeps it in like the back pocket, just like, okay, so like if there's any orcs, then like just I don't know, like really like support
my
Stena
God.
when like she sees an orc.
Support Stena.
Stena, did Triana... So what did Triana tell you guys?
Something's wrong with my heart. There's something in it apparently that like caused me extraordinary pain and is
I like that this is
kind
the
of
first
there.
time you brought it up.
Gross.
Yeah, it's interesting. Apparently, Penelope owes her money, so that's fun.
Actually.
Oh. That's probably an interesting story.
Oh, I'm sure. I really want to see them interact. Like,
Mostly because it'd be Will going back and forth.
You just want to see
Or
me
Will's
yell at
sister.
myself.
Yeah, really badly. Anna might be summoning Penelope in the room right now.
The
also,
game
Ruby.
idea
Also, Ruby. The council members from the Council of 12 are in town right now, and one of them knew me by name.
Newbie.
Shut up. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's something to
Yeah.
keep in mind.
Don't know how to feel about that.
Me neither. How'd things go with Alana?
Good. I guess she lost her arm and got a replacement. It's pretty cool. She was actually near Pole on the other side of the mountains and lost her arm and then went unconscious and was brought back to the other side of the mountain with her arm gone, and she doesn't remember any of it. So that's a thing for a much later date, I think.
Yeah.
Stena waves over the orc barkeep and is like, "Can I have like 3 beers?"
He goes back and
Out on the floor.
brings back 3 beers in one hand and just puts them down.
Stena just kind of puts them all 3 in front of her and like hides her head behind them and just starts drinking.
Stena, you now notice that the reason that this establishment, since this orc has taken over, has become even more popular is the orc decided if he's serving in a pub, he is serving out of orcish cups in orcish proportions. So these mugs are about as big as your head.
And he can carry them in one hand?
He's a big boy.
They have handles.
They
I
also
think.
have handles, yes.
Oh. That makes sense. I was just thinking like yeah. Yeah. The claw.
So yeah, Ramus is alive. But Anna knew that apparently somehow.
That's good.
Yeah, they were saying that they got here through the trees because trees are all connected.
Maybe there was like a weird druid shortcut thing that they.
Well, I know
took.
that there's like I know that there's a spell that lets you teleport from one tree to another, but I don't know if Ramus has that.
There is, yes.
It's also maybe a little suspicious. How the hell did they even get out of town? I barely got out, and I'm me.
They didn't need to get out of town. They just needed to get out of the tower and find a tree.
Yeah, but I mean, there were strings everywhere. By
Wasn't
the
there a
time-
garden in the tower? I think there might have been trees in there. Like where Craven had all the pets hang out.
Craven
I'm
had a
sh-
greenhouse.
I'm sure we
Yeah.
could, ask them about it
Yeah.
later. Maybe keep Anna away at that point so that they don't
They're
continue
also powerful enough to hide the heart from the people
That's
that
fair.
looking for it. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they could just.
Yeah, that's fair. We should probably ask about Craven, though.
Well, you saw Craven on your way out, right?
I did. She nearly hit me with a fireball, but that's, she was destroying the puppets. But we
Yeah.
should probably ask, like, if Remus knows if she's alive or anything.
Well, I am assuming she's a puppet. Because that's what she was when you saw her, or at least partially.
She was, yeah. I'm gonna go cope alone in a room. I'll see you in the morning.
I'm gonna make sure she doesn't pass out, and I point to Stena.
Yeah.
When you get to the room, Anna's there and has a little summoning circle for Penelope. She doesn't know actually how to make a summoning circle, but is trying to be like, oh, Kiva, perfect.
Kiva's
Okay,
gonna go
so-
into one of the other rooms.
Wait, no, since we're sharing a room, obviously, since we're really
No,
small, so I want
we
the biggest.
got
But
three.
I need maybe 3 of her hairs, since she's your ancestor. So maybe that would help me really make a connection to
So,
Penelope.
Kiva,
Maybe that would help.
As you're standing there, Anna, there is a large puff of black smoke as you feel the sudden urge to cough. The smoke dissipates. Kiva, you look ahead of you, and it looks like Anna has literally just stepped out of a hard day's work in the coal mines.
I've been working on the railroad.
Maybe
they're
leave the summoning circles to Stena.
They are smudged all over their face with what appears to be soot or something. Their hair is blown backwards. They look wild, like a mess.
Anna
in
still
the
has a
center-
handout. It
In
was
the center of the summoning circle, there is a single piece of paper with, in delicate, lovely handwriting that you recognize as Penelope's, is written, "Stop it!"
Senna stumbles up from the bar and
That makes
just
it seem like she got really close, which is concerning.
He was just gonna fucking leave and go to a different room.
Anna's like, wait, I need your hand.
They're not sharing with Anna at all.
It's more like when you try and reach out to someone through personal artifacts and you get an actual mental connection. It's not doing anything, but if the person's strong enough, they're sitting there and hearing Anna's annoying ass voice in the back of their head just going, Penelope, 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 Penelope.
That's definitely what she's been chanting.
You hear Stena stumbling up the stairs from the bar, and she throws open the door and looks at the summoning circle on the ground, and Anna just covered in soot, and she just kind of trips and then sits down in the middle of the circle and it just looks up at Anna and goes, you know that this is completely wrong, right? And just kind of drunkenly starts slurring about if you wanted to actually summon it,
Anna.
you need these materials and you don't have those. And then she eventually just kind of drifts off, falls over, and falls asleep.
Can I roll insight and see if I get smarter from
No.
learning about this?
Anna,
and how to
one thing that does
summon?
happen, however, is you are extremely excited. There is a person inside your summoning circle. All you know, it fucking worked. You summoned
Wait.
someone.
What did I summon, Stena? Oh my, wait, I saved you the trip up the stairs. Oh my god, I am a genius. I'm a summoning genius. I need to tell Kiva. Leaves her room.
Greatest wizard of our generation.
Kiva has locked the door. They're not sharing with anyone. Partially because they're, still playing with the toys they got. But no.
Anna,
Also,
you're a
the
summoner.
Fetus coin fireball thing.
Anna is like you hear Anna like speaking, but also through the mind link in sync. Well, actually, it's probably slightly out of sync, which to really bug you. And it's just like, Kiva, I summoned Stella. I'm a genius. I'm a summoning genius. It's Kiva.
Can I just close the mind link a
can,
bit?
But now you
I'm
just hear
gonna-
me. You just through the door then.
It's less annoying. At least I can cover my ears with like pillows.
It's so exciting.
Ruby, you come upstairs to see Senna passed out in the middle of a chalk drawing on the floor, snoring loudly, and Anna loudly banging on a closed door going, "I'm a genius! I summoned her! I've done it!"
Do I know the spell that I want to use?
What spell do you want to use?
I don't know it. I wanted to do calm emotions, but I'm just
Aw.
gonna do charm person on Anna and tell her to go to bed.
Okay, I get a roll against this, right? What's my
Yeah,
saving?
it's let's see.
Let's see if Anna's more charmed by her genius or Ruby.
And keep
It's
in
a
mind-
wisdom saving throw with a DC of 14.
And if you succeed, you see Ruby as like your best friend, super trustworthy, amazingly they're awesome.
Bruh! Oh my god, wait. Okay, so I rolled a 14, but I have a +3, so I got a 17.
All right, you are not charmed.
Anna instead notices Ruby and goes, Ruby! And he grabs Ruby by the shoulders and goes, I'm a genius! I summoned Stena up the stairs!
Can you just stunning strike her?
Anna, I watched her walk up the stairs.
Nah, it must have been an illusion because I look and then Anna swings Ruby around and points Ruby looking into the room. It's like, behold, the summoning circle works.
Stena is unceremoniously, face half planted in the ground, has dragged across the summoning circle and smudged it a little bit. Her butt slightly in the air from collapsing, while she snores, a line of drool comes out her mouth.
I'm gonna create water on top of Anna to wash all the soot off.
Anna doesn't even notice. She's like, I'm just, and she's flinging water because she's like, just look at my majesty. And she wildly gesticulates and just
Anna, you have this image in your head of a glistening golden god of genius. Everyone around you my god, she's so smart. We need to send her to the academy. Meanwhile, in real life, Ruby's just sitting there I'm friends with this dumbass.
I feel like
Imagine
your
Alana
IQ
saying
drops
that this is
every time
related.
we're within 500 feet of Triana. I feel like you get worse.
Anna just gets so excited. It's the gay panic in her. Anna's just so proud and she's just gesticulating around Stena, who's face planted on the ground, and just look at it, and just flinging water on Stena by accident. It's just look. I summoned water too. It's just.
I'm gonna grab Anna by the shoulders, look her in the eye, and say, "Make sure Stena doesn't sleep on her back right now." And then I'm gonna walk away and go into the other room.
And it's of course, I'm a medical genius too. Just thumbs up.
I'm a medical genius too. Puts Stena face first in a puddle and walks away.
It's looks over at her in the summoning circle. It's well, she's not on her back. Just gets ready for bed.
Okay. The night passes. Kiva, Ruby, you get a good night's sleep. Anna, you get a wonderful night's sleep. You dream of being the head surgeon in a hospital or something, and like people are brought into you and you save their lives, and then everyone thanks you, and then everyone starts standing up and clapping, and God is there, and also Kiva and Ruby are there, and they're
Obviously,
clapping,
crying tears
and
of joy.
Kiva comes up and gives you a hug and is like, wow, you were the coolest person the whole time. And then your mom comes up and gives you a trophy, and it's amazing. And then
Anna's
you wake
like,
up.
I have a mom? He goes, whoa!
It's
and-
just Triana.
It's just, oh!
And
It's even better.
Calliope's also there, and like sometimes she's dressed as a grape, and sometimes she's dressed as a wedding dress, and it's very strange.
I regret the grape so much.
I don't. I love the grape.
Fuck you.
Blame it all on you.
And then you wake up to see Stenna still face first on the floor. At this point, there's like a bright red floor imprint on one of her cheeks, snoring loudly and probably gonna wake up very, very sore.
Anna takes us in and goes, maybe I was drunk on power last night. And so she maneuvers Stenna very carefully onto the bed as if nobody will notice. She
Alright.
definitely never was not on the floor this entire time.
Stenna,
She
when-
gets back into bed and pretends that she's been sleeping this entire time.
Stenna, when you wake up, your neck really hurts for some reason. Like, you wake up in bed, but it's almost like you've been sleeping on your face the whole night, and your neck's been bent in an awkward... it really hurt. You're sore.
Stenna looks at the chalk. I'm assuming there's like chalk dust on
all
her
over your
person.
face.
And there's like
There's
chalk
a
dust, and then
Stenna
looks at the
shaped
remnants,
print.
and just looks at the gap in the summoning circle on the floor, and then looks over at Anna, and then just kind of glares.
Anna's extremely obviously snoring. You've never heard her snore before, ever, and you've shared rooms with her. But she's inexplicably snoring because that's how she thinks that she sleeps.
You hear occasional giggling coming from Anna's snoring.
I'm a genius.
I think that Ruby wants to try and enter the dream world. They haven't done it in a few nights.
Okay.
I think that they are doing a lot better than they were, but still
So-
definitely not.
Yeah, so in the dream world, you find, once again, you are actually in control. You can move around like you used to. You can see other people's dreams in the world around, and you feel you're not getting shoved around by random winds and buffeted in chaotic directions. However, outside the town, outside whatever the perimeter of the town would be, the people's consciousness of their town, you hear wind howling, and you see trees whipping around as if large gusts of violent windstorms are threatening to blow them down just at the outskirts of the town.
I think they're not going to push it. They're just going to stay
Yeah.
where they are.
Okay. Well, it is the morning. One last thing. Because in the morning we will start to wrap things up because people have to go at 1:30. So, Kiva, as you sleep, once more, you find yourself standing in that well-lit, sun-dappled room that the trial started in. You see the same rows and rows of pews, the dais at the top, the large stained glass window, and the stone platform where the signifiers of inheritance were previously. This time the room is empty. There's no one in the pews or standing up at the dais. And as the room is empty and the light slightly dimmed from the windows, you can finally see the image in the stained glass windows. And you see a beautiful multicolored panorama in front of you. And in it, it shows a what appears to be a large jade-colored serpent rearing back with a fierce expression, mouth open, fangs large and ready, eyes fierce, looking as if it's poised to strike. You see that this serpentine body is thick and large, arching back and curving up, standing on its own strength. You see, however, that this serpent-like creature also has arms. Strong, muscled arms that end in powerful hands and pointed nails. One of which is raised up, and a large, wicked-looking spear is clenched in its hand, and the other is held out. Nothing in its hand, as if expecting something to be given to it. Further along, down towards the lowest corner of the painting, you see a familiar figure, one that you haven't seen in a little bit. It's a small figure, cloaked and hidden in shadow. Their face still deep inside their cowl, but you recognize it as the person you see whenever the dice show you who their owner is. Whoever this person that could skillfully slip and sneak in and out of dimensions themselves, hidden by a cloak. You see in one hand the dice. You can make out, while you can't make out their full face, you can see their mouth, and a mischievous and wicked grin is on the mouth. And lastly, at their side, you see a very familiar cloth package containing something that you feel shouldn't be uncovered. It appears that this figure, holding this cloth object, is moving and making its way towards this large, serpent-like creature for some reason. You stare at this picture, feel a sense of encouragement and a sense of intent as around you the dream begins to fade to black until there is nothing in your vision except that large stained glass painting. And then you wake up.
Did I recognize the serpent from anywhere? Like, is it a symbol of a house, or?
So, the serpent, to your best guess, appears to be the symbol of... It appears to be, first off, a large naga creature, serpent with arms. As far as you know, a naga with spear is the symbol of House Lantium. Lantium. I'll put it in the Discord. House Lantium on the old continent was a naval and seafaring based house who prided itself in producing the finest captains and finest seafarers that the military has to offer. Naval generals of the most famous naval generals for generations have come from that house. It's said that they have the very blessings of the sea gods themselves running through the blood of that house. As for how they apply to the current continent, as far as you know, their ships are used for the transportation of the most important subjects, goods, or materials for expanding into this new island, or this new land. Otherwise, they are used as security and have recently started investing in building their own small port town in the southern point of this continent, called land. As far as you can tell, the town is called Landel, Landel.
Calliope probably knows something about them.
It is called Landel as it is named after the very lack of creative ability ruler of the town, who is known as Lord Landel Lantium.
Oh, Anna, you should ask about the feather that you got from the box that Triana gave you.
Yeah, we should, but are we all up? Are we
Well,
going to go see
I'm just
Triana?
I just had that thought, and I
Yeah.
wanted
At
to make
this
sure I
point-
remembered it.
At this
Write it
point, everyone is awake. Yes.
Anna's gonna try to stealthily escape the room with Stenna, even though Stenna's has been, according to Leah's own words, has been glaring at Anna for the past however long. Anna's gonna. Can I try to roll stealth? And see how
Stenna
well-
may or may not be poking you with the bone staff down the stairs.
Well, I was gonna try to do 2 stealth rolls and try
Alright.
to see if I could sneak out of the room and then sneak past.
So
the
make a
way.
stealth check with disadvantage for sneaking out of the room.
Well, that was great. That was I got a 6 and then I got a 5.
So Anna, you are
Yep.
on your tiptoes, slowly
Mhm.
creeping out of the room,
Mhm,
determined and with full intent, as you are focused on getting out of this pub without
Yeah.
the orc bartender noticing you. You are so focused on getting out of the pub without the orc bartender noticing you, you fail to notice Stenna standing behind you, extremely annoyed, poking you with her staff to get you down the stairs quicker as she's hungry.
Can I? So what? Can I roll? Roll stealth again to see if I can get past the orc?
With disadvantage.
Okay.
Stenna, when they reach the bottom of the stairs, looks for the orc, and when she sees him, just goes, "Where do we get breakfast?"
I got an 11.
The orc replies, "Well, for my dear loved one and her friend, I can provide a wonderful breakfast absolutely for free."
Anna is frozen again on the stairs. It's like mid-step, mid-creeping step, and it's just like kind of like a praying mantis, just like frozen.
Eva just moves past, completely ignoring, and like sits down to get food.
With much laughter and humor in the orc's voice, he comes around and serves you all big trays of cuts of meat and fresh baked bread with freshly made butter. You get like wheat biscuits that can help soak up meat juices. You get some local fruits. There aren't too many that are very fresh, but you get what you get. And each of you get 1 apple that has been shipped in from the old continent.
Anna's still frozen on the stairs. She's like, if I just stop breathing, he'll think I'm a statue that has somehow been here this entire time that he just has
Anna,
not noticed.
I'm gonna eat your food if you don't get your ass down here.
Anna goes through the mind like, who's Anna? No one of that name exists here.
Eva's going to start eating Anna's food.
The orc comes over and
A single
with
tear goes
with
down
a-
Anna's face.
with an extremely amused expression is going to polish off the apple on his shirt before firmly securing it and sticking it in your mouth because you just refuse to move, and then he walks away.
Anna's like, still a statue, but with the apple in their mouth.
Stenna says through the mind, like, "Where's Anna's rope?"
that makes Anna lose her balance and she falls down the stairs.
Kiva wants to like do a low-key high five. It's just like, yeah.
And it's like in her head, they thought my weakness, they thought my weakness. Not the
They know.
Today's been like a very fun session. Like my face is actually hurting from laughing so much.
You're very red.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just becoming red. I'm as red as the apple that got stuck in Anna's mouth.
So,
Mhm.
to end today's session, as you are all eating breakfast, Triana walks in. You see that she is dressed in a very formal way. She is wearing her armor, which has been cleaned and polished to a very, very impressive looking degree.
Anna's trying not to drool.
You see on her armor, it is now a shining combination of silver and reds and oranges and yellows that make that every time she moves, it looks like she is rippling with flames.
Anna is just like, so her skin is like blue. She's like a bright purple right now. Like she's blushing so hard. Just like everything is just.
Kiva
Oh, by
thinks
the
that
way-
this is the coolest thing.
Since Ruby came back from the camp with all the monks in it, they have been just beaming. They are the happiest you have maybe ever seen them.
Aw.
You see as well that she has this flowing red cape behind her. And on top of her head, you see a thin golden circlet with a single beautifully iridescent orange gem in the middle that seems to catch the light and flicker with the firelight.
I love her.
She sits down in front of you. Her sword, a large, heavy, and like her armor, crimson fiery broadsword. Not actually on fire, just reddish looking broadsword, is secured to her back on top of her cape. And she breathes heavily and looks up at you and goes, "So, what's the next plan of action?"
You just hear a thump as the apple that was in Anna's mouth falls to the ground. She's just-
Good morning, Anna.
I don't
Coming
don't
out of
know, but
retirement,
it seems
then?
like you're ready for battle.
Battle, ceremony. Honestly, there's not too much difference in how either one starts.
Hi.
Hi, Anna.
Frankly, I think I'd like to get an audience with the Grand Salamats, Teresi.
Well, just so happens that I need your help. All of your help. Then she looks at Anna.
All of our help?
I think. To make sure today goes off without a hitch. If you can
Anna
help,
was puffed up with excitement and then deflated.
if you can help me make sure that nothing goes wrong today, I can help you get that meeting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay,
When have I ever?
What
not
are
been
we?
great at that?
What do you
What's
need help
happening?
with? Yeah.
Today, our little village officially becomes a capital.
Wait, isn't there
Oh.
already a capital though?
And that's what we'll pick up next week. There wasn't
my
an
God.
official capital. It was considered the capital because it was the main port city and the main point of trading.
Oh, they snatched the title
Bro.
of capital under their
Damn.
feet.
Kiva's so ready to get changed into their fancy clothes and just fucking go wild, but for them, like, going wild means, like, participating in a whole bunch of politics.
This session was so much fun.
All
Ruby's
right.
excited that they're gonna get to see all the monks in their formal wear, like gathered for this.
All right. Well, we will see you all next week stream for
Yeah.
a fun and bureaucratic evening of how to become a capital city. Because that's all that's gonna happen is bureaucracy. Nothing
Yeah,
else.
definitely
Yep.
nothing terrifying.
Kiva's gonna be
No
in their
assassination
element.
plots whatsoever.
Definitely not. Why would you even say such a thing?
Once again, Kiva's gonna be in,
In
their
their
element.
All right. We'll see you next week stream.
Yep.
Bye
Bye,
bye.